There was a time when NASA wouldn't admit anyone into the astronaut corps if they weighed over 180 pounds. But that's because rockets in the 1950s weren't that powerful. The issue when you're dealing with spaceflight is that every pound matters. I mean, every half pound, every ounce actually matters. The boosters for the Mercury program were the Redstone for suborbital flights and the Atlas for orbital missions, and they had a limited amount of payload that they could lift. Saving weight by keeping the astronaut below 180 pounds meant that there was more wiggle room for all of the systems needed to keep him alive. Another consideration, which I think is a little bit weird when we're looking at it from a modern lens, is that NASA thought that if you weighed 180 pounds or more than 180 pounds, you were likely considered overweight. The idea was at that point you would have a circulatory and a metabolic system that wouldn't be able to handle the stresses dealing with spaceflight. There was a height limit. Astronauts had to be shorter than 5 foot 11 inches or 72 inches total. That's because in the spring of 1959, when the astronauts were selected, the Mercury spacecraft was already set and the base was set at 74 inches wide. With a pressure suit on, anyone taller than 71 inches would not be able to fit in the spacecraft. It's kind of nuts to think of an era of spaceflight where everything was like so on edge of working that you had to keep the weight minimal and the height minimal of the astronaut, or else the rocket might not be able to get off the ground.